Welcome to the first module in Acer Ecology's BAT Licensing Theory course. Today we'll be looking at the process of setting goals to achieve your BAT survey license. In 2017, promising athlete Georgia Bell quit running and didn't start again until 5 years later in 2022 at a local Saturday park run. In 2024, just 2 years later, she was selected to represent Britain in the Olympics. Going from park run to an Olympic athlete is an incredible feat that might seem impossible to your average person. How do you think you'd go about achieving it?
This slide breaks down clear and measured steps that could be taken to work your way up from a parkrun competitor to an Olympic athlete. Setting small and achievable goals like this can make an ambitious goal seem much less intimidating and allows for small wins to stack up along the way and boost your motivation. Of course, not all of these things will directly relate to your journey of getting your BAT license, but whether you want to be an Olympic athlete or a BAT ecologist, goal setting is always a great place to start.
The process of getting a BAT license can be broken down into more manageable steps in just the same way. And the first stage is deciding which license is the right one for you. In the UK, there are several different options available depending on your level of experience and your requirements. This is a list of English BAT licenses that you can apply for. Classes 1 to 4 allow disturbance through a variety of survey techniques, from endoscopes to HARP tracks. A volunteer roost visitor can carry out certain conservation activities while acting as a volunteer bat roost visitor under Natural England's Bat Advice contract. A science or conservation license allows certain kinds of disturbance as part of scientific research or conservation efforts. A low-impact license allows interference with certain common bat species and low conservation status roosts as a registered ecological consultant. And earned recognition allows bat ecologists with a Level 2 or higher survey license and membership of an approved professional body to carry out mitigation work. An early career bat ecologist would probably begin by applying for a Class 1 or 2 bat license, allowing the use of torches at Level 1, and hand searches, artificial light, endoscopes and nets at Level 2. Each license has its own set of requirements that will need to be evidenced in your application. For example, to apply for a Class 3 and 4 BAT license, you would need to prove that you have 400 hours of survey experience, covering a broad range of survey techniques, and this will be backed up by 2 independent references. By setting a date to work towards, it then becomes much easier to break down the process it will take to get there. This is why SMART goals are so important. They should be specific, such as meet the criteria for a Class 2 BAT license instead of get a BAT license. They should be measurable. Gain 100 hours of survey experience by March 2026 instead of get experience surveying. They should be achievable and realistic. Even if you'd like to spend all your time surveying for bats, how much time do you and your mentors really have to dedicate to your training? And by making them time-bound, you also have a clear deadline that you can work towards. You may wish to break this down further into monthly or quarterly goals. Take the time now to set your own SMART goal. To get good at something, you'll need to practice. And to successfully apply for a BAT license, you need to prove that you've had practice with the techniques you'll be using. Malcolm Gladwell suggests that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to be good at something. Fortunately, Natural England does not expect 10,000 hours of training.
In fact, there's no formal guidance, but between 100 and 200 hours is usually considered appropriate for most applicants. The exact number will typically be decided by your referees, who will all have their own individual requirements.
If this is all starting to feel a bit overwhelming, now that you have your SMART goal set, it's a good idea to take a step back and evaluate where you are currently. This will give you an idea of what steps you need to take to get from here to your goal. What experience do you have with bats right now? It doesn't matter if the answer is none, but you may have experience outside of survey hours that could still be beneficial. It's also a good idea to start thinking about people you could approach to be mentors at this stage. If you don't know anyone, start thinking about how you can build these connections, as your mentors will play a vital role in your journey through bat ecology. Spreadsheets can be a great way to help you keep track of your to-do list, and also the experience that you're building over time. This one has been used to track different projects an ecologist has worked on, and breaks down both site work and desk-based tasks that have been completed as part of each project. Here is another spreadsheet tracking different preliminary roost assessments that an ecologist has conducted. Notice the column that tracks hours spent on each PRA. You'll find keeping a record of this particularly useful to make sure you've got all your required hours, and that you know when you're ready to apply. To become a licensed bat ecologist, you'll need to be able to recognize a wide variety of roost types. This is a skill that you will pick up as you gain experience in surveying. The roost you can see here is a maternity roost, occupied by soprano pipistrelle bats, easily identifiable based on the large number of droppings and audible social calls. Here is a similar chart tracking dusk emergence surveys, another kind of survey you may need to gain experience with as part of your survey hours. Again, the ecologist has noted down the number of hours spent conducting each survey, as well as the species seen.
This video is an example of light sampling, a behaviour exhibited by horseshoe bats. Horseshoes tend to emerge about 30 minutes after sunset, and will fly in and out of the roost repeatedly before leaving to forage for the night. This allows them to assess light conditions, and is also important for socializing. Horseshoe bat mitigation sometimes includes the creation of a covered area by the roost that will facilitate this behaviour.
By practicing PRAs, you will learn more about the features bats are most likely to use on various buildings. Where do you think a bat is most likely to emerge from in this picture? The red circle shows where a bat was seen emerging from during a dusk survey. While PRAs are a useful way to assess a building's potential importance, dusk surveys are equally important and offer very valuable insight into bat roosting behaviours. An emergence may only consist of one or two bats, but they can be quite spectacular events. This is what it looks like when a maternity roost of soprano pipistrelles emerge at dusk to forage. Here is another format that you may find useful for record keeping. Learning how to survey hibernation sites will be an important part of your training. Keeping a column to document the knowledge that you gain on each survey you conduct and identify areas for improvement or additional training will help you to make sure that you have all the necessary areas covered when you come to apply for your license. This person has surveyed both a hibernation roost and a transitional roost, and notes that they were able to identify a lesser horseshoe roost. They also note the benefit of seeing roosts from a wide variety of settings and species. Bats spend the winter in hibernation, and preservation of their hibernation sites is particularly important. Hibernation surveys can take you to some interesting places. These are cave pearls, one of the many fascinating phenomena you may encounter during a hibernation survey. They are small concretions formed of calcium carbonate, named for their resemblance to oyster pearls. How do you identify a greater horseshoe bat? Well, they're the only species that wears jewellery. This greater horseshoe bat has been ringed as part of a wider study investigating how bats are using the landscape. Some greater horseshoe bats have been found roosting over 10 miles away from their hibernation site. Learning to handle bats is an important part of your training. This person has taken many steps to become confident handling bats, including a research and conservation camp in Hungary, focused primarily on bats. While travelling abroad is certainly not a necessary part of your journey to your bat license, they have gained experience in handling bats of various sizes, conducting radio telemetry and collecting biometric data, and have taken detailed notes on the work they've done, including records of species handled and techniques used. This video is from another interesting bat study, using UV paint to see how different bat populations connect across the country. Acting as an accredited agent can also help to reinforce your application. This person has been listed under the EPS license for several projects and has kept a note of the reference numbers for each as well as the species involved. Site supervision is another important element of bat work, to ensure that your recommended mitigations are being properly implemented and to offer real-time advice if things go wrong. Here, a bat has been encountered during site supervision. As a license holder, it is possible now to carefully relocate the bat to keep it safe from the ongoing soft strip. It's a good idea to keep a record of both formal and informal training that is undertaken during your preparation. This person records a wide variety of bat-related training, including asbestos training, taking courses, attending talks, and preparing marketing and training material relevant to bats, as well as practical training in tree survey methods, endoscope use, and hand nets. You will find it useful to read and regularly look back over some core texts relating to bats throughout your journey to getting a license. These can all be compiled into a bibliography. If you're not sure where to start, all the books and guidance listed above will provide excellent introductions to their subjects. As you work towards each step of the process, schedule in time to reflect and keep a broad overview of the work that you've been doing. It may help to split your time into seasons and make a note for each season of the hours you've spent surveying, any additional training you've done, your achievements, and your goals for the next season. Even after you've achieved your goal and gained your bat license, this can be a useful way to track your progression as an ecologist as you continue to learn and grow in your career. This is the Bat Conservation Trust training syllabus, which serves as a useful checklist for important topics you'll need to develop an understanding of. These can be divided into 5 broad categories: legal protection, bat biology and ecology, bat conservation, practical methods, and consultation and liaison. Get creative with ways to demonstrate your learning. Sketching for species identification is a great field skill to have. It can be used to reinforce your understanding of identifying characteristics and demonstrates the work you've put in to become familiar with our native bat species. You will need mentors to supervise your training and provide those vital references to go along with your license application. But mentorship is far more than just a tool to help you get your bat license. Their years of experience in the bat world will be crucial to your professional development, and they will be able to offer new perspectives and a wealth of experience to guide you through your career in ecology. Determination is key to getting a bat license, and there are many routes you can take to immerse yourself in the world of bats while you're ticking off your survey hours.
While getting a tattoo might be a tad overkill, there's no such thing as too much enthusiasm for bats. There are plenty of bat groups online, both in the UK and globally, but don't just join. Be active, leave comments, and engage in discussions. Blog your survey experience, take every survey opportunity you can get, and explore the huge variety of training courses available to you. Conferences are a great way to stay up to date with the latest research, conservation, and updates from the bat world, as well as meet other bat enthusiasts. And while you're recovering from talking to all the brilliant bat ecologists out there, you can listen to podcasts, like the Bat Conservation Trust Bat Chat, or do some background reading. Some key books include the Bat Workers Manual, which also has the benefit of a structured training plan for working towards your license, Bat Survey Guidelines, Bat Roosts in Trees, Bats of Britain and Ireland, ID of Bats of Britain and Ireland, and British Bats.
Now that you have a clear idea of the steps that you might take to achieve your bat license, it's time to turn them into reality. Regardless of your current level of knowledge or experience, start thinking about the options you have available to you. Many areas will have a local bat group which may run events and even training opportunities. These are a great place to start for facilitating connections as well as gaining hands-on experience and learning from other ecologists. Once you begin gaining experience, start keeping a logbook, and if you're already well on your way, it's never too late to start. It might be difficult to remember everything you've done in the past, but record what you can from memory. There are also other formal training events, including specific bat license training courses. It may be worth looking into the Bat Ability Club. While there is a cost for membership, Even joining for a month or two will give you plenty of time to go through their extensive back catalogue of webinars and training material. There is also plenty of background reading out there that you may be able to find for free, and you can connect with other BAT enthusiasts by teaming up with colleagues who are working towards their licenses or by checking out the UK BAT Workers Facebook page. Networking both in and outside of work will help you find people who may be willing to mentor you, and if you're already employed as an ecologist, prioritize taking on PRAs, dusk emergence surveys, and BAT license applications where you can. If you're already employed as an ecologist, start thinking about how your company might be able to support you in your efforts to gain your BAT license. They may be willing to fund training, have you act as an accredited agent under a colleague's license to gain experience, allow you to undertake PRAs or attend monitoring or end-of-license return visits, or provide coaching from licensed staff. They may also offer support in other ways, such as providing time off in lieu for attending local training events. As well as dedicated mentors, it's a good idea to think of people in your life who can support you, especially when you're struggling. These could be colleagues who have managed to get their BAT license and know what it's like, others in the same boat as you, or even non-BAT friends and family who can motivate you to keep going. This is an example of the reference form your referee will have to fill out as part of your license application. They will document their own skills and experience, details of BAT licenses they hold or have held, and provide a statement detailing the species you have worked with and their observations of your work with bats, as well as a list of techniques they have observed you use and the length of time they have known you. How do you know who the best people are to provide a reference for you in your license application? When choosing your referees, it's important to bear these requirements in mind. They must have direct knowledge of your work with the species in your license application, and hold or have held a similar license within the last 3 years. A trainer from a course you've completed cannot be used as a reference, and neither can a partner or relative. If you provide multiple references with a license application, they must be independent of each other. They must be able to show that they reached their judgments independently from other supporting evidence or references, and if both work at the same organisation as you, the reference can only relate to projects where only one of them worked with you, or to work from outside of the organisation.